Hey there, Salvador here with Detailers Growth, and today I met with William with Marine and Auto Detail over in Gig Harbor, Washington. How are you, William?
I'm good, Salvador. How are you doing today?
I'm good. William, you have been a client for a little over 2 years. Let's talk about the first year in the beginning, and then on the second half, we'll go into more detail on the more recent months. So, can you tell me about what business was like for that first year that you and I were working together?
So, for the first year that we started working together, I was able to move from mobile detailing over into a shop space. That was a really big change in my business since being in a shop space allowed me to do more coatings, which are higher ticket items, and then also allowed me to just ride more cars and not run around as much and get out of this weather. So we've since last year, since 2022, so 2022 and to 2023, we've doubled our revenue since 2021. Our
That
revenue
is
has almost,
insane.
I think it's been like, it's almost like two and a half times in the last year. And that's just working with you guys, learning some sales stuff and taking advantage of the resources that you guys have.
So, William, can you tell me about what business has looked like in the last 6 months where we've really cracked the code on the sales process and the lead generation?
So I would say in the last 6 months, we've definitely increased our budget since we were with you last year. So we're seeing a higher volume of leads. And then our close rate has still remained the same. So we're still spending more money, but we're also closing the same amount. So we're getting more jobs in the shop because we still follow the same sales process as we had last year and then made improvements with client follow-up and things like that.
Nice. Okay. And roughly, what is that closing rate at right now?
So our current closing rate, I want to say, is about at 20%.
Nice. Okay. Love it. 20%. And these are leads who may not be familiar with one, ceramic coatings, or two, you know, your business in general, but we're able to kind of work the sales process, work the ads in a way that we're educating them along the way so they get a better idea of exactly why it's worth spending, $1,500 and above for a ceramic coating. Roughly, how many ceramic coatings are you guys doing per week?
So currently we run about 8 ceramic coatings a week.
Okay, 8 ceramic coatings per week. And what is that in revenue
So that will make anywhere between 6 to 7 thousand. I want to say
per
per week.
week?
About
Nice.
yeah, so not horrible.
Nice. And the cool thing about that is the majority of that revenue is coming from just coatings, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, awesome, man. And this being your second client success interview, where we kind of just showcase your results, give me just three important things that you've learned along those 3 years.
So well, in the last 3 years, I've recognized one, I can't do everything myself. I used to think I could do all the sales process, all the work, but when you really get into it, it's too much to manage
Yeah.
as a single. So I've noticed to let go a little bit. I would say teamwork is one of them. Working as a solo mobile detailer for the longest time for years, it moves you in a different perspective when you start to having to manage your own employees, talking to your business partner, and then doing everything else in between. And then the other one I would just say is honesty and integrity. I'm honest with all my clients. We have good Google reviews. We have good clients. A lot of people are happy with our work. I would say that itself just goes a long way. I've noticed by doing that, showing our clients our tip amounts are pretty high. So they're normally about 15 to
Nice.
20% just by
Nice.
that.
Love it, man. Love it. So you brought up a good point where when we initially started working together, I believe you were still doing some regular detailing, but you were looking to get into coatings. And then you made that switch to where you were doing mobile coatings. Now you're doing just coatings in a shop. Tell me about what that entire journey has taught you as a business owner.
So as a doing more coatings than details, one benefits a higher ticket item, but it's
Yep.
also a lot to do a coating than a full detail. So you
Yes.
have to look over your employees' work, be more have more integrity, and then if a client is spending $250 on a full detail, that's different than spending $1,500 on a ceramic coating. So you treat the cars a little bit differently than you would versus like a full detail versus they can take 3 to 4 hours versus some of the coatings in our shop can take up to 12 hours to do sometimes. So of course about a day and a half to 2 days.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So you're getting a better bang for your buck with just going for ceramic coatings versus traditional detailing where you're really having to do a lot of backbreaking work. I'm sure you've dealt with a handful of disaster details before. So
Yes, we have. We had a car come into the shop about last week that had a rodent infestation, so we had to clean that up. That was not fun.
that's insane. They had rodents running around in their car.
Yep, there was mouse poop, dead mice, the full 9 yards.
And then now it's ceramic coatings. I think what's the worst thing you've seen so far?
Honestly, doing coatings, I really haven't seen anything that bad except like highly water spotted cars, which we usually
Yeah,
get like once or twice a year.
just
But most
cosmetic
of
stuff.
the cosmetic stuff, but most of the interiors that we get from like interiors or even engine bays aren't even really that bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's a
most,
different caliber of clientele now versus
it's
somebody who's trying to get you to go as low as possible with their pricing with detailing versus somebody who sees the value with ceramic coatings. You have a good sales process in place to educate them, and now they're spending double or even triple, quadruple the amount that they would with the detail, but they're going to be less of a hassle.
right. And that's the type of clientele that's easier to work with because I've noticed that your lower end clients are actually more picky than your higher end clients.
100%. 100%. Love it, man. Okay, cool. So right now it's the first week. We're going into the second week of January of 2024. Just give me like a rough idea of what winter has looked like so far compared to last winter.
I'm too busy to a point where I don't can't leave the shop anymore from like eight to six. I have clients coming in, we're doing quotes, we're doing demo washes, showing our clients how to maintain their coating, which opens up another source of revenue for us so we can sell product.
Yes,
And but that being the face of my business, running the sales, running my shop, I don't have enough time to do anything anymore.
which is a
Just
great
bit
problem to have, especially with the growth that you have had in the last year. That's amazing to see, man.
I would say the growth we had hasn't been exponential. We've grown quite a bit, but each year it just goes up linear. It's not like an exponential growth. It's just very, very linear.
Yes, yeah, and that is one thing I do want to highlight is we have a lot of other client testimonials where it is exponential, right? But William, you and I were willing to put in the work to dial in the ads, dial in the sales process, and we're kind of seeing that slow, steady trend upwards of those efforts. So it really does compound over a longer period of time. Once you have a good team in place, you have a great service with a great sales process. So I do want to double click on that sales process here just to kind of give the viewers some golden nuggets. So as far as your sales process goes, can you give a high level overview of what it looks like from the moment you follow up to when they become a customer?
So sometimes you have easy closes, and then sometimes you have to do a hard close, or you have clients you have to follow up with. Most so we'll book initially about 10% off of a hard close, saying like, "Hey, we had a reschedule appointment for this date next week. Can you bring it in? We can knock off $200 for you and bring in like throw in a wheel face ceramic coating
Yeah.
that you can do. We require deposit, what's your credit card number for you, basic stuff like that. Some of the hard closes that we have to do, we have to have about 6 or 7 contact points for calls to close some coatings, which is fine. But that's just all part of the sales process and the client follow up. We also do use
Yes.
this if you're able. So we send out proposals with multiple different packages, have them look at it, and then they're kind of set into a price. We'll send out like our mid-tier package, and then we'll follow up with them a couple days later. We'll say like, hey, the quote was $2,500. Why was this so much? It's like we have a package that is $1,000 or $1,500. Is this something that would interest you? Most of the time it does. Sometimes it doesn't. And by doing that, we can still book coatings, not at a higher ticket, but a lower ticket, but we're still taking advantage of the ad spends and doing them, getting them in the door with all
Yeah.
deposits. All the jobs that we do, we require a deposit on.
Love it. Yeah. And a good thing about that model is you have wiggle room to offer that downsell. So if this package is too expensive, it's out of your budget, you're looking for something a little bit less, you guys offer that as well. And then vice versa, you can also send over your entry level package and then offer more if they're looking for more. So that's a great way to set expectations as well. But William, man, it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since you and I first started working together. What would you say to somebody who's on the fence with coming on board with Detailer's Growth?
I would say, I would definitely say pull the trigger, book an onboarding call, see how it goes, and see if it's the right fit for your business. It has definitely worked out for us over the last 2 years. This is not a paid promotion here or anything. I
Yeah.
volunteered to hop on this call with Salvador. Hop
Um,
on a call, see what you can get, and it's a month to month basis, so you have nothing to lose. There's no contract, and
yes.
see how the results. So, I mean, I can say I am very, very happy and very pleased with how our shop is doing. Revenue
Yeah.
wise, input out, our employees, our sales process. I am very happy with everything that is being done currently.
Love it, man. That
No
means a
complaint.
lot. And working with clients like you, William, where you have a vision for what you want your business to look like and you actually put it into place, right? So we can only do so much with the advertising, and it is a dual effort. It's a partnership, right? And working with clients like you, William, where you're just ready to just pull the trigger, you just take action. You're an action taker. And that's what I love. You guys are willing to test things. You guys are willing to get feedback from us and vice versa, which is great. And I think that's really what we're looking for with people who are interested in coming on board is somebody who is looking to grow, but also put in the effort to grow because otherwise it wouldn't work out. William, it being not even the first month of 2024, what do you have planned for 2024 with your business?
We're hoping to go back into the marine side of detailing. Our name is Marine Auto Detailing. We just haven't had the infrastructure yet to do big boats, like 40-foot, 60-foot boats. So that is going to be our goal starting spring, summer, and then just keeping our coating business up and running.
Nice. I love it, man. Is there anything else you want to add to people watching this who might be curious? Maybe this is the first time they're hearing about us. What would you say to them?
Yeah, so I would say, if you are watching this interview, definitely watch it through, look at my shop, Marine Auto Detail, look at our Google reviews, check out some of the work that we do. I'd love to talk to anybody working with detailers for a testimonial. Love to give a good referral to anyone who asks.
Love it, William. That means a lot. And I appreciate your time, man. I know you're a busy guy. Every time we talk on the phone, you're like, man, I'm so busy. And that's a great problem to have, especially when you're doing all the things that you're doing, building out a team, dialing in your sales process, and making sure you're on top of things, which has been amazing to see. And by the way, one thing we didn't mention is, William, how old are you?
I am 19. I graduated high school last year.
You are 19 years old, doing $6,000 per week with just ceramic coatings. And you went through what I would say is the full journey, right? Mobile detailing, mobile coatings, coatings in a shop. It's been a beautiful thing to see at such a young age, William. And you and I are both young, but I'm 24, man. You got me beat with just growing your business at the young age that you are, man. It's been amazing to see. It really has been.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think when I first onboarded with you, I barely just turned 18. So,
Yeah, I remember that. You were still in school.
yep, I was still a senior in high school.
Yeah. So anybody watching this who's skeptical, whether it's age and experience thing, as long as you're willing to put in the work, take our recommendations, right? And vice versa. It's a beautiful thing to see, and it almost always works out. So, William, I want to thank you so much for your time and for just kind of giving people insight to what your journey has looked like and what it's been like working with Detailers Growth for the last 2 years, going on 3 years. I'm happy to
Yes.
see it, man.
Thank you.